All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Spread Podcast. We got a lot to talk about this week. We got Christian's Bills, we got George's Leafs, we got my Habs. A lot of controversy going on. Why don't we start off in the NFL? Christian, the Bills, what the hell is going on with them, man?
I want to hear
I know
this.
you got a lot to say.
They're a failure of a team, and Brandon Bean is a failure of a GM, and I don't say that lightly. We have the the best player currently in the NFL. This is not a good football team. Let's get one thing straight. This is a bad / below average at best football team that has the fortune of having the best player in the league. We have the same failures every year. We have this everybody eats mentality, and it's been failing. Josh needs a number one receiver, because if you watch the game on Sunday, he was running around trying to create plays. They made him do too much. That's why we had the turnovers. McDermott has to go. Secondly, he's cost us way too many playoff games. The defensive-minded head coach, and his defense gives up 30-plus points every playoff game. It's a mystery. So, yeah, it's the same thing every year, and I think a lot of Bills fans are sick of it. And we just need to move on from Bean. We have to move on from McDermott. We need Josh to get a true number one receiver. Shakir can't cut it as a number one receiver. We just throw 10 screen passes to him a game. Keon Coleman creates no separation. Who do we even have? Like, Josh Palmer is his best deep threat. You seriously expect to win a Super Bowl like that? And the defense, they can't stop anything. Bottom run defense. We better hope Hairston doesn't get injured again, or Benford stays healthy, because we have no chance at having a game with under 30 points allowed. There's just too many things to say. It's just been complete failure.
Running them off already.
Yeah, no, because it's the same thing. We see the same thing every year. Oh, the Bills will win this year. They're a good team. No. And then the supposed top defense with his genius defensive-minded head coach, they just lose in the playoffs. How is it that with this defensive-minded head coach, this top defense supposedly, and you lose every time in the playoffs? It's the same story every year. And now you expect to lose a division to the Patriots, who in Drake May's second year, they're already going to get a 1 seed before the Bills. You expect with this team to go on the road 3 times and make the Super Bowl? It's not going to happen. They're done. I'm writing them off. I hope I'm wrong, but every year of the NFL's existence is evidence I won't be wrong about this. And I think they're done. I have no more hope. I'm done pretending to be optimistic. And there's just nothing more for me to say other than this team's been a failure, and we wasted the best player in the league's career.
I mean, listen, it's not a good look at all for the Bills. They fall 30-13 in Miami against the Dolphins, who have been very, very poor this season, been riddled with injuries and all that stuff. And I think you hear him loud and clear about his opinions on the Bills. Speaking of teams that have been crumbling, the Steelers had a big loss the other night on Sunday Night Football against the Chargers. And they've started to slip down a little bit too, because they also had a hot start, and now they've been starting to, typical Steelers way, just start slowing down, and they're going to eventually get to that 8-8 probably, and just get in the playoffs. And pretty much the most Mike Tomlin season ever. You watched the game that night? What did you think about it?
No, I didn't watch it, but I mean, it always seems to be the same story with the Steelers ever since Big Ben is gone, right?
Yeah,
so you can't
pretty
really,
much.
Like, are you really going to trust, like, Aaron Rodgers is, he's what, like 40?
He's old. He's up
old,
there,
41
man.
years old.
He's nearing the end.
He's old, man. It's a new generation of quarterbacks now, but we'll have to see. I mean, like, if they can make the playoffs, this is my philosophy. If they can make the playoffs, anything can happen. But at the same time, in the NFL, it works a bit different. Home field advantage is huge. That it really does matter. And like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what else to say. Like, we'll have to see. It's all going to come down to the playoffs, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'll see what happens with them. But if they make it or not, it's a big question. Again, that division's very, very open right now, because a lot of teams are struggling as well in that division. I want to go back to what he mentioned earlier about the Patriots. They've been looking really, really good. 8-2 now after they won on the weekend against the Buccaneers, I believe. Do we think they're legit?
I think they're a good team. They just need more experience. It's not necessarily a lack of skill. Like, Mike Vrabel, I think, has been a great coach. Maybe a more, besides Diggs, another proven veteran receiver would help. But It's just they need more experience. It's not that I
Yeah.
can think of anything that's particularly a weakness about their team. I think they're just going to get to the playoffs, and another team who has more experience, either Baltimore or Kansas City or even Denver, are just going to beat them.
I agree with that.
They have a
Yeah.
great
I
foundation.
think they have a really good team and they have a good coach, but and Drake May has been playing really well this year, but we'll have to see. It all, again, as I said earlier, it all comes down to the playoffs. You know, like if they can even get some runs in the playoffs, like they don't have to. If they can win at least a round, you know, you're happy with that, right?
Yeah,
You're
that's a
okay with the
success.
development, right? Them being as good as they are right now is a successful season. It's not a failure by any means, even if they lose. So like, you know, you don't expect them to be as good as they are right now. Like what, 8-2.
8-2, yeah.
Yeah,
Tied for
they've
first in the
surprised
league.
everyone.
Like, you know who should be? There should be one other team that should be in the conversation for that, but we'll see, right? Again, we're still have time left in the season.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know?
they can definitely still recover
five
those
or six
back. They can
games.
still definitely
I
get
don't
the
think you
division
can write
back,
the Bills
but-
off completely.
I'm writing
especially
us
with
off.
Josh
I'm writing
Allen.
us off for the Super Bowl.
Es-
I'm not.
especially
we're not winning
with
the Super
Josh
Bowl.
Allen
It's
on
the
the
It's the
team.
same exact thing.
Like I've seen the people, you know, write off the Panthers. I've seen people write off the Chiefs, not the Panthers, the Florida Panthers, not the Carolina Panthers. But like I could see them.
The difference between those teams is they've went there. They've proved
Of
they
course,
can do it.
Of course, I agree.
Yeah.
But still, I really think that once the playoffs comes, teams are different, and we'll have to see once that time comes around, right? That they could flip a switch. They could be a different team in the playoffs. Who knows?
But that was just Sunday's game was just
Yeah,
my
I
breaking
agree
point. I'm like,
100%.
No,
okay,
yeah,
I agree.
that's the tipping point. I'm not believing in this team.
It really depends on who they
just
play.
Can't, I
That's
can't
the
bring
only thing.
myself to believe
Yeah.
this is a Super Bowl team.
Yeah, it just depends on it depends on who they have to play up, who they have to face up against,
Yeah.
and how their path looks to get there. Because again, if I don't want to be that guy, but if they run to the Chiefs again, I'm probably
We
going
all
to the
know how
Chiefs.
that
It's
goes.
been
Yeah.
it's been the same thing for a long time now, and
I don't doubt bode too well. For
I don't know,
them.
but I agree with Joe in the sense that you can't. I wouldn't necessarily close
I mean,
the idea of that
yeah.
entirely because they can still win the division. You don't know how the Patriots are going to do in the last couple
It's
games of the season.
possible,
Here.
but again, it's such a slow.
It's
Like,
possible,
do you
but
write
is it
the
gonna
Chiefs
happen?
off right now?
No,
Exactly.
because they've been in this position.
Yeah,
before.
no,
They've
I don't
came
think
back.
anyone can write the Chiefs
They've went
down
on the
anyway.
road. They beat Buffalo that year. They beat Baltimore on the road that year. They won the
Yeah.
Super Bowl against a great Niners team.
Yeah.
So they've proven they can do it. So that's why I don't write them off.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think that every team is different when it comes to the playoffs, but we'll see what happens.
100%. Yeah. We'll see what happens. We'll see.
yeah.
We'll see. Again, like I said earlier, it depends on who the Bills play.
Yeah,
It depends on how their
I
path
agree
is to
with
get
that.
there,
And,
maybe they can
we
get
need
a
home
certain
field
way.
advantage because we
Yeah.
almost never win on the road in
Yeah.
the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's the only thing with them. I'm not entirely sure if they got that just yet. Obviously, still a long way to go. We got to see if they can beat out the Pats. But again, they already lost to the Pats earlier this season in Buffalo, and obviously with the loss yesterday, it sounds like an ideal for them. Speaking of another team that's on a bit of a roll right now is the Indianapolis Colts. Obviously, they made that trade about a week or so ago for Sauce Gardner, and they've already won, and they've won their first game with him in the lineup, and are like I'm very intrigued to see how they perform in the playoffs because I feel like it's almost for certain now that they're going to be in there. It's just a matter of how far can they get it if they can make a push with Daniel Jones as a quarterback. Do you guys see that happening at all?
I don't think they can. I don't trust Daniel Jones to go in and win the playoffs. He had a great start, but that game against the Steelers kind of brought him back down to earth. And I think we realized that it's mostly Jonathan Taylor leading the way. And I think if Jonathan Taylor were to get injured, that Colts team would struggle a lot. I just can't see them, just because their dependence on Jonathan Taylor and they've barely won these like games against like bottom teams. I just can't take them as a serious contender, even though their record, they have a great record, but I just can't take them seriously yet as a Super Bowl contender.
I'm on the same page as you with that one.
Could Taylor win MVP? That's another question we should ask.
I think he can. If you look at how many touchdowns he has, he's been insane this year. Yards, touchdowns, everything involved in the passing game. I think looking at their record, he's definitely the star of it all. So I think he's arguably the favorite to win MVP.
Yeah.
We all know it's traditionally a quarterback award, but so Drake May's in the conversation. Matthew Stafford's been amazing. Even Sam Darnold should be in the conversation, in my opinion, just because what he's done with the Seahawks. But yeah, I think Jonathan Taylor would be very deserving if the Colts can even get to 11 wins this season, he'd be very deserving
Yeah.
of an
Yeah,
MVP.
I agree.
And it's looking like they probably will at this rate. How
At
they've
this,
been
if
playing,
they can just play 500 ball,
especially
Yeah, that's all they
now
need,
with
you know.
Gardner, like they look better than they did before, and they've already been on a good roll. Again, they've shot everyone this year. I certainly don't think they would be that good this year.
Indiana sports has been on a roll this
They've
year.
been on a
The
roll this whole
Colts, the
2025.
Pacers
They've been
made it to the finals surprisingly, but
they've been on a roll
Yeah.
this season. So we'll see what happens with them. But I agree with
Yeah.
you in that case. I don't. It's Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
Like how much
how much can you do?
How much can you really get out of Daniel Jones, right? That's a big question. But again, they have the other pieces around. They have, of course, Jonathan Taylor, and they have Gardner on the back end. Like they could make some noise. You never know in that division, especially if they win the division too and get home field advantage.
Right.
It's anyone's game from that point on. One more thing I want to mention with the NFL before we move on. The Eagles defeated the Packers on Monday Night Football at Lambeau Field. And as of right now, the Packers sit outside of a playoff spot right now. That's
They
as of right now, they do because the Bears, my Chicago Bears, won on the weekend. So now they've improved.
I
and now
could
they're just outside of
have swore with the Niners, their loss, they were the odd team out. Actually, could we get a fact check?
You want to fact check that one? I'm pretty sure they're not, but at least it's
They're either in that.
they're
we
they're
can-
right.
we can-
They're,
we
they're
can
just
fact
outside of it.
They're
Or
in
they're
that
right in
last
there
wild
right
card.
now. There's any chance of them recovering and potentially winning this division at this rate?
Yeah, there's definitely a chance, but I think just the Lions getting healthy, obviously they struggle with a ton of injuries. I think the Lions will end up winning the division. That's been my prediction from the start. I just don't. It's hard to trust the Packers receiving core, obviously.
Packers are in right now. They're in the wild card, third team.
Barely. Or
So
how
it's-
many
the Niners
games?
are out.
The Nine, yeah, without.
by I mean they're
literally.
Half a
5-3
game.
and 1. It's
Literally
half
half a
up,
game, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyways, it's just been the Packers receiving core. Matthew Golden taken in the first round. He hasn't lived up to expectations so far. Obviously, he's still early in his career. They've had some injuries with Dobbs has been in and out. Watson's been in and out. There's just not really someone to really take over as a top receiver. And I think that's been an issue, especially for a young quarterback like Jordan Love, not having that top guy. But the defense has played well. But they have to get better on offense. Obviously, the loss of their tight end, Tucker Kraft, who is one of the best tight ends in the league before injury.
Very good.
He was
yeah.
really good. So
Yeah. I think
that's going to hurt them a lot.
I think Christian has able to say his piece about the Bills. Am I right? And obviously it sucks how they're playing right now, but
yeah, for sure.
I think we can segue that into some happenings in the Major League Baseball. Some big stuff going on right now. Moving to free
a
agency.
lot of rumors, really.
Yeah,
a
lot of
hearing some
rumors.
whispers.
A lot of
we're waiting for everything to
rumors.
happen. just now.
I mean, come on now. We know who's going to the Dodgers, right?
It's,
we
it's,
know
it's
who's
a
going to
huge
the
mystery.
Dodgers.
It's not like this happens every offseason.
Where are they gonna go?
Where?
Yeah, please bring a lockout. Please bring a lockout.
Oh, I hope for the
A lot of
lockout.
going to happen.
But-
yeah.
Anyways, getting into that, Munetaka Murakami, he's a free agent now. He's been posted by the NPL, I believe.
Yes,
So that's going to be interesting to see where he goes. I think he'll go to the Dodgers, in my
I think
opinion.
it's pretty obvious. Yeah.
I think so as well.
But the Mets are definitely another team where he could go. They have the money. They need if they're gonna lose out on Pete Alonso, they need that guy. But
Again, we've seen this story before. I thought that a couple of years ago the Mets were going to be the favorite to land Yamamoto. I was really excited about that, and then the Dodgers swoop in. But they've already built that culture in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
They all probably
Yeah.
have a desire
I
to play
think-
with each other.
I think
So,
that he'll sign with LA for the reason Yamamoto, Sasaki, Otani.
Right.
I think he goes to LA. I don't think there's any other, and they're gonna give them the most money most likely.
of course.
So
Yeah.
the only thing that I look at it differently is that maybe he wants to create his own legacy and his own name instead of just winning a championship. But at the same time, why would he not want to be on a team with his fellow countrymen? With guys that he played on the national team with, right? Why would he not want to be on a team with them? He's probably already boys with them. I'm sure he knows them pretty well. But it's going to be really interesting. And, I think that the Jays, they really could make some noise here in this free agency.
I know they were. I know there's rumors surrounding Murakami with the Jays as well. They were considering about that. I personally don't think it's going to happen myself, but I also heard a big rumor that that the Jays are in the mix as well. What the Yankees and the Dodgers are in the mix for Kyle Tucker from the Chicago Cubs.
Yeah.
That I would love personally. I think he's a very underrated player. He's obviously a World Series winner with the Astros. And again, the one thing I love about the Jays outfield is that like our bats are pretty solid, and we have the thing is, I feel like our outfield, our defense definitely outshines our bats a lot more, especially with guys like Varsho and Straw, and of course Lucas coming in this season. Barja was fantastic in the playoffs defensively. I feel like getting a guy like Tucker who can hit 20 to 30 home runs a year consistently for the last couple of years now, and give you 90, 100 RBIs coming out of that outfield, coming out of the right side of the outfield there, I think it'd be a really, really big addition for the Jays if they can get him.
I think you need a guy who's able to hit for. I mean, obviously you have Santander.
Yeah, and
but
obviously so far hasn't worked out, so that's why there's some more concerns.
That's why they might
go
go for Tucker with big swing for him. But I don't know. I think they could sign Tucker. I know that it would be a good signing, but I think that they're really gonna also focus in on some pitching too.
Oh yeah, that 100%.
Maybe
they have to get that
a reliever or a closer.
For me, that's probably their number one. If I was Ross Atkins right now heading to the offseason, for me that's the number one thing.
Because the thing is, if you sign a guy like Tucker, then you're booting someone out of the rotation of the 9-man rotation every night, right? So you're gonna take out Lucas or Varsho. You want Varsho's defense in center field. You like Lucas's bat. He's able to get on base, have long at bats. So it's really going to be interesting how the way Atkins approaches it.
Yeah.
That's why I prioritize pitching for the Jays.
Yeah, for sure.
Their offense is already a juggernaut offense.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I think for the Mets, I think they have to focus on getting some pitching. They need pitching.
Well, that's the main issue.
They need pitching.
Korai Senga can't be an ace. Peterson can't be our ace. We need that true ace pitcher because it just wasn't cutting it, especially the last half of the season when the Mets absolutely collapsed. The pitching was the main thing. Obviously, there's some struggles with the offense, but Soto was hitting fairly well. He was actually pretty damn good. Maybe not as good as that contract, but still one of the best players in the league.
Yeah.
Alonso's still great. So we did have a lot of the hitting. It was just some of that pitching, especially trying to close out some of those games late in the season that the Mets really struggled at. So, yeah. Pitching is the number one concern for the Mets. Yeah. It's pretty clear.
I agree. Even ahead of, like, I hope they re-sign Alonso because that's going to be huge, but I think
they will.
I don't think they will either.
I don't think they will.
I think that's why I think they're prioritizing.
I think the Red Sox could be in on him.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
They haven't really. I feel like it's been a while that they've really like splurged on a big name like that.
Yeah, I agree.
And they're due for it.
And they just traded Devers, and now they're starting to get a younger.
Exactly.
That could be their piece.
They got Roman Anthony. Yeah, I think Roman Anthony's going to be great next year too. I think he's going to be amazing.
Very good, yeah.
But I think that should be the priority for the Mets is pitching number one.
Of course.
Obviously, you're going to get offense still. They have a good offensive team. They have Soto. They still have Mark Vientos, right?
Yeah, Lindor's there.
Lindor, they still have a good offensive team.
I'm not too worried about the top of the order.
I agree.
Yeah.
If we re-sign Alonso, then there's some concern.
Again, but again, it's looking like right now is probably not going to. And again, the thing is, you gotta find a way to maybe not replace him because it's hard to replace a guy of his quality and his power that he brings to the lineup. But just to at least get a guy to at least fill in the void,
right?
Is absolutely clinical for me. Or at least for the Mets.
If they can even just get
that, and the pitching is so important.
If they're able to get guys who can, not just replace, but try to elevate the team, get on base,
especially on the defensive side,
have good defense, have good pitching. Just having like a good all around team. That's what the Jays did. And but you still need your superstars.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But the Mets have their superstars.
Yes.
They have their Soto, they have Lindor. Those guys are still like superstars.
Right.
Soto is one of the best players in the league. Lindor is still an all-star.
Yeah.
Right. But we'll have to see. Going back to the Jays, I want to talk a bit about Bo Bichette. I heard some teams were inquiring him about playing third base or second base, which is really interesting. So I mean, I really hope the Jays re-sign him. I think
I really hope they do, and I mean, again, he made it clear in a post-game interview after Game 7. He said, "I've always wanted to be here." He said it. He said right there and then after the game, "I want to be here, and I've always wanted to be here," and everyone knows that. So, it's really up to the money. It's up to Atkins how much he's willing to pay him, how much term he wants to have on his contract, because obviously he may say, look, Vladdy got 14, I want 14, I want this number. You know what I mean? You don't know how he's going to approach it. And we don't know if Atkins and the Rogers group are going to pay that. Because, again, in recent years, apart from this Vladdy deal, they don't pay their superstars, really. The Vladdy was the first. It was like a bit of a shock to me, if I'm being honest with you, that they even paid him all that much money for 14 years, because that's very, very not like the Jays organization and Rogers and
they got to pay
Ross Atkins.
Pay the man.
I think they understand if they want to go back to the World Series, they have to pay Bo.
I mean, for crying out loud, he hit the big home run.
There's
during
really
Game 7.
no
Absolutely
way around it, and I think
absolutely have to bring him back.
they understand it this time. If they are at all serious about winning, they have to re-sign Bo Bichette. That has to be their first priority.
I agree. I couldn't agree more. Moving on to some more news in the MLB. Last night they announced the Coach of the Years.
Yes.
I believe Pat Murphy won it in the NL for the Brewers, which well deserved, second year in a row.
100%. 97
best
wins
team in the
best
league.
team in the league.
Best team in the league. You know, he brought them there. But
great.
some more, but for me personally, shocking news. And
Steven
Vaught won it in the AL for the Guardians. What do we think about that, Christian?
I mean, it was deserved. The Guardians did win a tough division, like obviously against the Tigers. Like that was a tough division.
While they were trailing too.
While
they were down a lot.
The Tigers were
15
arguably
years
going to win the AL. So I think it's pretty impressive that they made that comeback that late into a season.
I agree, but
would I have given it to him? I'm not entirely sure, but I can't say at the same time that he didn't deserve it.
I think the Tigers had a fall off.
Yeah.
Like they had so did the Astros. The Guardians played above 500. They had a good season, I agree. But it wasn't like, oh yeah, they're playing so well. They're playing, you know, the Guardians are playing so good. Yeah, it was more of the Astros and the Tigers were falling off. Right, that's how I look at it. With the Jays, with John Schneider, it was more of the Jays are playing so good. You know, they're having a really strong season.
And they've rebounded back.
And they bounced up 74 and 88
season,
to what, 95 and whatever.
Yeah, 94, yeah.
Yeah.
94, 20-win improvement, yeah.
So, like, I don't know, man. I just think that really says a lot about the Jays. And personally, I think John Schneider is a great coach. Like, yeah, he made some questionable decisions throughout the World Series, but I honestly think, like, he did his best, right? He did a great job, and I think you couldn't ask for a better manager other than him. So I would have given him the Coach of the Year.
I can see the case for both sides, because obviously the Guardians actually had a part in their downfall, right? They had to play against both those teams, obviously divisional opponents. They're all going up against each other multiple series a year. So you got to give credit for them to ultimately win that tough division.
And
but
again,
I see both sides of the case.
I also see
a case for both.
Also, one thing I also like to point out as well is that I feel like a lot of people are painting this World Series, obviously getting to the World Series Game 7 on Schneider, and they're thinking, oh yeah, well, how did he not win it? Because he went so far in the playoffs, and the Guardians lost first round to the Tigers, right? I obviously it's a regular season award. And I understand Jace fans' frustrations with him not winning the award. But for me, I think it's justified. I don't want to contest it too much, and I'm saying that just because of the fact that, again, the 20-win improvement from last season is obviously a very, very big feat for any manager, for any clubhouse, right? But for me, it's just because that the Jays, previous to that season, 2024. They won 92 games and then 91 when they missed the playoffs. So I don't feel like it's more on him, really, in terms of like him being the manager of the year, because they've bounced back so much. Because the team was already a 90-win team for the last couple of years before that bad season he had last year, and then this season now it's the kind of the norm for us Jays fans. 90 wins around there with the team that we have. We should be there every single year, and I feel like. For Vogue's case, the Guardians on paper don't look that great outside of Jose Ramirez, and the fact that he's managed to keep this team in the playoffs for the past 2 seasons, of course, last year with the ALCS appearance, and this year now winning the division, I think it justifies it perfectly considering the roster he has as well. I'm not going to argue with the thing at all, and I'm not trying to. And again, Jays fan, I think Schneider's done a great job with the team so far. I don't see really a big argument around that, just because of, again, the team really rebounded back, and again, we had injuries a lot last year as well. So I think it's more on the team success, more than the manager's success, that translated to our 20 wins improvement this season.
Yeah.
But again, I see the case for both sides, but I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
Jason,
that's completely fair.
I'm not here to contest that.
I agree,
More or less
honestly.
agree with that.
I thought that Schneider should have won, but I see the other end of
Yeah.
it with Vought.
But again, people always look back and say, "Hey, listen, Schneider went to Game 7 of the World Series, and Vogt lost first round in the
But that doesn't
divisional round at
matter.
home."
That doesn't matter.
Exactly.
That's what
No
people
relevance.
say, but
No
I feel
relevance.
It's
like
not
I
a
feel like-
playoff,
I
it's
feel
a
like- I
regular
feel like
season
it's a-
award.
I feel like it's the relevancy that people have, and of what the recency effects of people, and
Yeah.
the perception
Yeah.
of what just happened, and they're thinking, "Oh yeah, maybe it's maybe
Yeah.
maybe Schneider should
Yeah.
win because he won the World Series, right?" Even though again, a regular season
Right.
award.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the way it goes sometimes, right?
Yeah.
I want to move on quickly to the NBA, and we want to talk about some breaking news out of the NBA. Not too long ago, Nico Harrison, general manager of the Dallas Mavericks, got fired recently. Obviously, he was the one who made the infamous Luka Doncic trade. You guys thoughts on this?
I mean,
The firing?
It was about time.
I think it's justified,
I don't.
yeah.
I still to this day cannot process what went through his mind. Like, yeah, I have one of the best young superstars in the league. Let me just send him away to the biggest market in the league. I genuinely still can't process it.
it makes no sense. I remember when he traded Luka Doncic. I was getting ready to go to bed. I was like just chilling. It was like 1 a.m.
Yeah.
This guy texts me,
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Oh crap! What the hell? Luka Doncic got traded to the Lakers? No way, no way!" And I couldn't believe it. I was like, "No, this is a lie. This is not real."
I thought it was fake.
I was shaking.
I thought Shams
I was
got hacked.
shaking.
I saw the first thing I saw it. I was just scrolling through TikTok, and then I see this guy on live. I'm like, Luka Doncic traded to like the Lakers, and I'm like, what? I'm like, okay, he just
He could have gotten such a better package. Too,
I'm
man.
like-
it was such a terrible.
No,
like,
the way I found out, I genuinely didn't believe it because I was like, oh, this guy just wants clicks. I'm like, just in case, let me open Instagram. And then I see from the Bleacher Report, I'm like, what? And so then I send it to you, and I'm still in shock
yeah,
that happened.
Honestly, look, I think Nico Harrison did some good things with the Mavs, right? I think he did, but I think that one trade really ruined his reputation.
everything.
Yeah,
It's ruined his
forever now,
reputation.
yeah.
So like, you can't make that trade. I don't care what position you are in. You cannot make that trade. That's like the NHL equivalent of, I don't know, trading like Leon Draisaitl
Wayne
or
Gretzky.
Connor McDavid.
Trading McKinnon.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Like it's
just not-
absurd.
you just don't do
It's
that.
crazy.
You don't do that.
I don't care if you're saying, oh, defense. I prioritize defense. This guy right now is
Yeah.
averaging what, like 38,
36.
9,
Yeah.
and 9.
Yeah,
Are
37
you kidding
points a
me?
game.
And now,
this is like unheard of.
And now the
man.
Mavs are like down in the bottom of the West.
Yeah, the
or
Mavs are
injured.
doing terrible.
It's just like,
Like obviously Cooper Flag
it's
is going to
just bad.
develop and he's going to become a
Yeah.
great player.
You got to
Right.
get in the night as well. Very big night the other night.
Yeah, but they lost.
Exactly.
It was Luka Doncic on the team. I think they're doing a lot better.
Oh, yeah,
Obviously,
100%.
Luka had his like his issues with his weight. I know that like his physical
Yeah.
was not the best.
Well, look at him
but,
now.
But now he's super lean. He's he's hooping, man. He is
Yeah.
playing the
It's
best
a
basketball of his
problem
career.
with the
I think it's
Mavericks
coming personally.
organization.
So we'll have to see. I mean, the Lakers. This can be really
He
interesting. to
pulled
see
the
how good
Jordan
they
and
do.
took it personal. He literally
Yeah,
took it personal.
yeah,
He
he
did
did.
take it
He
personal.
did.
Took it personal. and
Hey,
here
I
it
don't
is now,
blame
yeah.
him.
Listen, I want to go back to your point, like you said earlier. It doesn't matter what position you're in. You cannot trade Luka Doncic. You cannot make that trade for a franchise player like that, especially given the rumors that apparently the owner was the one who more insisted on it.
That's really
he must-
strange.
he
It
must have just been fan or
almost
something. I
makes
saw
you think
something
like
about it,
there's
yeah.
something behind it. It's like the league pressure.
Yeah, there's no way.
Not to promote any theories,
To,
but
to trade Luka Doncic,
but it just
and then
doesn't-
win-
it
and then win
doesn't
the- and
make
then win the-
sense.
and then win the draft lottery like
And then-
a few
and
months
then-
later.
yeah,
Like,
I
that-
agree.
that's-
And they had, like,
that's
what-
really
what-
there's gotta be
suspicious.
something
They had like a 1%
And they had a one.
chance.
It's almost like the league's like, okay, send this great superstar to LA to play with LeBron. We'll take care
Yeah.
of you.
Yeah.
Like
Just,
it's just so weird because it
It's
makes
so sketchy.
absolutely zero
But it's a
sense
business.
from a manager's
It's a business. The
standpoint.
NBA is a business. That's the truth.
Right, and you don't trade your star
Adam
player
Silver,
unless
baby. Adam Silver.
unless Adam Silver's coming to you. Yeah, we'll take care of you. We'll give
Yeah.
you the number one.
Yeah.
Like I just can't make any sense of it otherwise.
Honestly, man, I think like, I mean, you could say that, but it is. You do think about it, like it is like, oh wow, like it could
Like-
be legit that they did this thing because they had a 1% chance to win the draft lottery, and what are the odds, right?
Yeah.
And then you send Luka to the Lakers to continue. Without Luka, the Lakers would probably be like they might not even be in a playoff spot right now. Lakers,
No chance it would be.
They would probably have a big fall off in the probably in the bottom 5 of the division.
I don't even know if they're in the play-in.
Yeah,
that's
I
why
agree.
it's like trying to keep LeBron will really help
Yeah,
keep
I
LeBron's
agree.
career relevant.
But
having Luka there.
Could it? I don't know, man. Like, could it be that it actually happened? Like, could that?
There's got to be something.
What do you think? Could there be something behind the scenes?
There's something really suspicious going on. Like, again, it's mind-boggling that not just some casual NBA fan thinks, oh yeah, let's trade Luka Doncic, let's bulk up our defense with Davis, but an actual experienced general manager, how does that thought even go through your head? There's something suspicious going on.
Yeah.
And I think many people just can't help but feel that way. And then a 1% chance. What are the chances this is all a coincidence? It's just.
Yep.
I think
we have to start asking questions,
I absolutely
right?
think there's something behind it. There's no way.
Luka Doncic is arguably the best young player in the NBA right now. I would say, like,
I mean, yeah,
like better than Tatum.
If you consider, you can't consider Jokic too young
Jokic
anymore.
isn't a young player.
Not
No,
anymore.
No. He's better. I mean, you could argue that he's better than Shea right now. Why is Shea first in the MVP voting over Luka?
His team, because
No.
J-Dub has been out. Chet's been in and out. It's been him, and he's been the one. It's 11. They are. He can win again if they're 11-1 and they have several injuries, and he's the one putting his team on the back. People will call him, oh, he's a free throw merchant. He's a free throw merchant, but he's he's the one getting to the line and actually drawing those fouls because he's a good player and he does it.
I think Shea's a great player, but right now the fact that the numbers that Luka is putting up right now, look, I love Shea. He's a Canadian, he's a good player. He's a great player. He's probably going to make it to the Hall of Fame one day. He's probably going to be the best Canadian player of all time.
Free throw merchant.
Sure.
But I got to say this, man. Luka Doncic is putting up historical numbers right now. Historical.
Well,
I don't care what your team's.
I
don't care what your team's record is.
That's not sustainable. Shea's proven he can actually sustain his numbers. Luka's going to have a fall off.
You're telling me Luka's going to have a fall off?
It's inevitable. He's not going to average 36 points the whole season. There's no way. There's no way.
Okay,
if LeBron's going to come back.
I don't agree,
man. You know what? That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad opinion. I'm not against that. That makes sense. There's no way he's going to average 30 when LeBron comes back. I agree with you on that. But at this current moment in time, I don't see a world where Shea is in the top 2 right now for MVP.
Top 2?
Right now.
So who's second?
I think it's Wemby and Hing.
That's ridiculous.
Wemby is
Wemby's had his teams healthy. J-Dub hasn't played a game this season.
Wemby's been playing unreal right now, man.
Chet has been in and out of the lineup. We're still 11-1, and we lost by 2 points, or we'd be undefeated.
Who'd you lose to? Portland.
On a back-to-back.
Portland.
On a back-to-back with half our team resting, Dort out, Williams out, Holmgren out, and you expect them to win on a back-to-back in a different time zone?
Portland.
On the road. In a different time zone. Half the team out. I don't understand. You have to lose at some point.
It's an hour difference.
Still, it makes a difference when you're playing on a back.
What's Portland's record? What's Portland's record?
I don't know, but I know they're not very good.
Guys, what's Portland's record?
Let's cherry pick the one game they lost. Let's ignore that J-Dub's been out. Let's ignore that half the team's been out.
Let's check Portland's
Caruso,
record.
arguably our defensive player, has been out. Let's ignore that Shea carried them to 11 games. Let's focus on the one loss on a back-to-back.
Yeah.
It sounds good.
I'm just saying, man. I don't think you can look at record that much. Like, obviously, record does matter.
If Williams and Holmgren
I'm
playing,
gonna look right
fine,
now.
you don't have to look at the record, but that proves that Shea's actually put the team on his back. It's not just that he's been supported all this time.
But still, man, what's the averaging?
They're still a good team.
What's the averaging?
Like, even with others,
around
it's still a good team.
Around 30. Luka Doncic has 38, 9, and 9.
He's not going to sustain that.
Oh my.
I think going forward, Shea can actually sustain his numbers because he's done it before.
I don't know, man. I agree, but like, I don't think you can count. Like, I think Luka has to be the favorite right now. I don't understand.
Right
how
now, I
he's
think
not.
he is. I
Like,
think, I
to
think
me?
it's him for sure.
Okay, let's
If
check.
the season ended today, he wins MVP, but the season's not going to end today, and we have to.
You're right.
And what's
Yeah.
realistic is we have to understand the context and what's actually been done before.
Yeah.
And also,
And she's
injuries can play too. Someone can get hurt. You
Yeah,
don't, you
yeah,
don't know,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So again, it is very, very early for that right now. I
Yeah.
want to go back to what you mentioned earlier about losing the one game, obviously in a back-to-back. Do you think the Thunder can? Okay, I don't want to say they can beat the Warriors 73-9 record because that's a little bit blasphemous. But can they at least be close to that? Because last year they
think-
were unreal, and they weren't too far away from that. But obviously,
I think they can.
it's a
think they
long way
think
away.
they
but-
can, but they have to. If they stay healthy, they absolutely
Yeah.
can. But health is
You
a
look
big
at the-
question mark because
you-
we've had half our team injured, right?
You look at the Warriors. It was a year after they won, right? The 2014-15 season.
Correct,
They won.
yes.
And then the year after they had their 73-9 season. I can see it happening. I could like okay, maybe they're not going to get 73-9, but I could see them winning 70 games.
They
Yeah,
can reach.
I was gonna
That's
say
what-
70
that's what-
70
that-
games,
That's
they can win
exactly
70.
what I was
I
going
could
to
see
say.
that
They can
happening.
reach 70 wins.
Yeah, I agree.
It would not
I mean,
surprise me.
like they have a great team. They like I'm not taking anything away from the
Good
Thunder.
coach as well.
I think they have a great coach.
Great coach.
They're all around team. They have bench depth. They have guys stepping up all the time. Again, you're right. It's going to come down to injuries. But if that means if they're the first team to go 70 to win 70 games since the Warriors, does that also mean that they're going to blow a 3-1 lead in the finals?
Depends who they play, man. Maybe. Who knows?
I'm
I doubt
joking.
it.
Who knows, man? Who
Well, maybe
knows?
they'll blow a 3-1 lead
If
in
the Warriors
in
can
the
blow a
conference
3-1 lead,
finals.
if the Warriors can blow a
Not,
3-1
not
lead,
against the
anyone can.
Lakers. I'll
Maybe
tell
against
you
the
that.
Lakers they'll blow it.
Oh, well, yeah, well, we have,
Luka
well,
Doncic will cement
it's
his
funny that
legacy.
it's funny that we talk about this because we do have the showdown tonight, so that'll be a fun
Oh yeah,
game.
that's gonna be such a good
That'll
game,
be a
man.
fun game.
I take Lakers money line. Luka
Oh,
Doncic
God.
35 points. Shea
I don't know about that
over
one,
on
man.
free throws.
I just
free
sit,
money.
Dude, if
Free
I were
money.
you, I just sit back and watch and relax and
Oh,
enjoy
yeah.
that game.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
not gonna
that's gonna be
put
such a
money
good
on that
game.
It's
one.
gonna be a
No
fun
chance.
game, and
No
it might be the
chance.
conference finals. Honestly,
It
that would
could
be my
be.
that would be my pick right
It
now.
could be.
Arguably
I
the
don't
two
think
best
the Rockets
players
are
in the
gonna make
NBA
it.
right now. I think
Yeah.
Luka versus Shea. It's gonna be a fun matchup.
It's gonna be a
And
great game.
you know, I want to talk about
Yeah.
a game that just happened last night. The Celtics played the 76ers. I'm not sure if you guys watched it, but it was a really, really tight game. The 76ers are actually pretty fun to watch, even without Embiid
Yeah.
playing consistently. They have Edwards, a rookie, and they have
Yeah.
BJ Edgecombe, who's playing
yeah.
great. And Tyrese Maxey's leading them. That could be a new young, like trio for them
Yeah.
to
Their
you
backcourt
know,
for the future looks
get
really
going.
good.
But the
It's very, very
Celtics have been really struggling so far, obviously
Yeah.
with the injuries of Tatum
Yeah.
and the loss of Horford.
But even then, you think like, okay, with Jalen Brown and obviously Anthony Simons coming
And
in,
Joe
Derek
Mazzulla's an
White,
amazing
Joe Mazzulla's a
coach.
great coach. Like
Yeah.
you
Right.
think that they
Right.
wouldn't fall off this hard, but they've been really struggling as of late.
Yeah,
and
I-
Well,
it's kind of crazy to
Tatum
mention
being out
here.
hurts. That
Yeah,
really hurts.
that also hurts
Yeah.
as well. But I gotta say, it's crazy to think about that the Mavs and the Celtics, just two summers ago were in the finals, and here they are now, and they're both struggling just to really get some air and get to 500.
And we know why the
right now.
Mavs are struggling.
we know why
struggling.
but I wouldn't panic on the Celtics. Obviously,
Oh no,
I
I wouldn't
agree,
panic
I
at all.
agree.
Yeah,
I don't think
no
enough
panic
people talk
whatsoever,
about
but-
the loss of Marcus Smart. How
Yeah,
he's
that's a
not
good
being on
point,
that
yeah.
team.
Drew Holiday. Oh, Drew
Tatum's
Holiday.
not there.
No, he's not there anymore. Drew
Holiday's
Holiday.
gone.
he's had a bill.
They
a bit
lost
of fall
Porzingis
off.
as
It's
well,
like
so they don't have
they
have
lost
Heat at
Porzingis.
center
They
right
don't
now,
have that
so-
big. Yeah,
Lost
they've
Horford,
lost
yeah.
some pieces, but
Horford, yeah.
once Tatum's gonna get back into the lineup eventually, they'll have Brown still there. They can build around that team, no problem. They've done it before, and I'm not too concerned about the Celtics.
It really depends when Tatum comes back.
Right.
Yeah.
I think if he comes back a bit before the playoffs, I think they can be a playoff
I think he's
team.
supposed to get back before the playoffs.
Like
yeah.
if he comes back right as soon as the playoff hits, I don't think he'll be able to adjust to that level of basketball
Yeah.
right away.
It'll take some time.
Like
correct,
I
yeah.
think he'll have to ramp it up in the regular season. You know,
And
play-
again, they got to make it as well because again, if they're in
Yeah.
the play and he's not ready for the play-in games,
Yeah.
then you got to win
That's
those playing
gonna
games.
be
You got to
tough.
get in
You've
the
gotta win
dance. You know what I
those-
mean?
yeah.
So
I think
it
they
really
should
depends on what happens. From
try
here.
and have him ready for like early March, just so they
Yeah.
can ramp him up.
Oh,
like,
100%,
Like
yeah.
you know,
That's the
15
goal.
minutes a game, 20 minutes a game.
The sooner he gets back,
In
the
limited
better.
minutes, of
100%,
course. Yeah.
gradually.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be really interesting. The Celtics are a really interesting story this year because you know they're still like want to contend.
Yeah.
But
Right
you
now,
know,
it's a
we'll
bit
see how
slow start. They got to,
Yeah.
kind of get some pushback back in there
Yeah.
to at least get in the dance. Because for when Tatum comes back, because you can't be threatening on being in the play and being out of the playoffs entirely, and winning on a superstar to come back. Because that's just a whole lot of jeopardy for that team,
A
especially
team
with how
that's
much.
been really surprising to me personally
Yeah,
in the
and
East.
how much success they've had over the years as well. It's
Yeah. A different team that's been really surprising for me is the Pistons. I think they've been playing great ball.
Oh
you
yeah.
know?
Yeah.
First in the East right now.
Yeah, first in the East. Cade
Yeah.
Cunningham has been hooping for them.
Yeah.
You know, they had Jalen Duran, who's been playing.
Yeah.
Duran. He's been playing great. And they got a good team over there.
They got a
what are they,
pretty-
8 and
yeah.
2?
Good young team. Yeah.
They're balling right now. Yeah.
I think they could maybe win the East, possibly. We'll have to see.
It's really early.
that is
But we'll see.
early
We'll
to
see.
say.
But I think they're going to be a great team. You know, they have good. I know he had a rough game the other night. Cunningham, he had 45 points, I believe, on 45 shots.
Yeah. I
45
saw
shot
that.
attempts.
Yeah.
14
That's-
for 45.
I saw it was the most.
Yeah. That
is, like,
I think
absurd.
most shot attempts ever in an
Yeah.
NBA game.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
absolutely
Insane,
unbelievable.
bro.
That is
Absolutely
insane.
insane.
And they still won, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
They still won. But also the Raptors have been playing some pretty good ball too lately.
Yeah, they're
they
2-0
won
in the
last
NBA
night to
Cup
the
as
Mets.
well,
They're
yeah.
2-0 in the NBA
Yeah.
Cup. They may be turning it around. Hopefully, you know, they don't just settle for being a mid team in the play-in every year, because they still need that guy who can step up and be that star.
Yeah.
I don't think Ingram is that. I don't think Barnes is that just yet.
Yeah.
But I think they're gonna still try and develop him and
Yeah.
make him into a good
I gotta
player.
say though, they haven't playing pretty well recently. They've
agree.
been pretty hot. They had a win yesterday against the Nets. And yeah, so far everything's kind of going pretty.
Could the Raptors
okay
finish
right now.
top 6 in the East? That's gonna be an interesting.
I hope. I pray. I wish they do. I just don't. I don't know.
I don't see
I don't
it
see it.
personally.
I don't see it.
Yeah.
No,
I don't
they
see it.
can't. I don't.
I hope they do, but I don't see
Again,
it.
like we've discussed earlier, they don't have that number one guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've
I
mentioned
agree.
this.
That's
yeah.
going to prevent them
Yeah.
from getting into the top 6,
Yeah.
at least for the foreseeable future. But once they get that guy, they have some great pieces they can build around there. So
Yeah. Speaking of other Toronto teams, George, you want to talk about your
Maple Leafs.
yeah.
Yeah, it's been kind of rough to start the season. I'm not gonna lie. Last night was rough. That loss to Boston was not very good, and of course the games in the weekend at Carolina and Boston again.
another loss.
Those were tough. Those were tough losses, man. We let in 5 goals all 3 of those games. And the thing is with the Leafs, it's the same problems. We have the top guys are scoring and the top guys are producing. We have no depth. Our bottom 6 forwards can't score to save their lives, and this all of a sudden one of our main strengths last season, which was our defense and our goaltending, has become our main weakness.
Yep.
It's very clear to me that Stolarz needs Woll to split the games with, because
Right.
Stolarz' entire career has never been a starter, never. And now now he's forced into that role due to obviously Woll being out for personal reasons. He's slowly coming back now, which is good, but it's clearly not working for Stolarz. The defense is getting injured more and more. Tanev got hurt. He came back and then he left to get in the stretcher in the same game against the Flyers like a week ago.
Yeah.
Like it's just we're getting tough luck right now with injuries with him as well on the back end, and it's just not looking good right now. Again, I'm not panicking. It's only November. It's only middle of November. There's still a long way to go. We're only about 16, 17 games into the season anyway, so I'm not too worried just yet. But I am definitely concerned. Obviously, with the games, especially with how they've been playing in the last couple of games, blowing the lead to Carolina and getting pounced at home and now in TD Garden to Boston. It's concerning.
Yep.
There's a lot of concern in Leaf Nation right now.
Especially for a team that generally plays so well in November, and then to have
I know.
this record in November, it's
Yeah.
a bit concerning.
Yeah, I
Also,
agree.
It's very concerning.
what are your thoughts on I have to ask, that trade, the Brandon Carlo, the Fraser Minton, the first round? How is Leafs Nation
Right
feeling
now it's
about
looking-
that
right now it's
That-
looking- right now it's
that
looking really,
looks
really bad.
absolutely
Yeah.
an atrocious
At the
trade.
when it happened, I liked it because again,
You give him a
Carlo was
first-round pick,
Carlo was
too.
Carlo was a
You're
big
giving up
big
a
player.
You're
And,
a first-round
and
pick
Minton
and
was a
Fraser
first-round
Minton.
pick himself.
Guys, at the time,
Your second best prospect.
Let me-
I still
let me
don't think
explain.
it was
That makes
justified
no
at that
sense.
time.
at the moment, I liked it because Carlo's been a very
No.
solid defender for a long time.
No.
You guys, come on now.
He's solid,
Come
but
on
I
now.
can't.
He's
you
been a
can't
good
justify
defenseman.
essentially 2 first-round picks. Because
Come on
Minton was
now.
a first-round
Guys,
player.
guys,
He's playing well.
you guys are living
You're
in
giving
the
up
now.
another
At the
first-round
time,
pick.
it made sense.
No.
I understood it. Yes, it did.
Not
He's a good
even at the
defenseman.
time.
He walks into both your
He is-
defense scores right now, guaranteed.
2 first-round picks.
He is a good.
He
but
is a
you're
good
giving up
player.
essentially 2 first-round picks. for him.
Guys,
You can't
at the
get him for
time
a
with
first
term
a
and how
mid-round
good
pick.
he's been
What's his
solid for the
contract?
Bruins.
What's his contract?
I'm just saying, at the time,
What's his contract?
at the time, you're not listening to me. You're interrupting both of you. You're interrupting me. It's pissing me off. At the time, it was not a bad trade at the time. Now it's looked absolutely horrible because he's playing like shit.
Yeah.
And I understand that, and we know he's been terrible, but luckily he's only making like 3 point something right now because he got some retention on it, and so he still some term on the deal as well.
Yeah.
But he's been absolutely abysmal.
Yeah.
Him and McCabe for me have been the
and,
worst.
And
They've been
Scott,
terrible.
what's happening? Lawton's been out, but even then,
That trade was terrible.
Lawton
That trade
didn't
was
play
terrible.
too well, and they gave up a first round pick. So
that one was terrible.
they're really
that one
I don't know,
no
man.
future for
I don't know, man.
pieces that
This
are
is
not going to be.
This is
in
the
their top
this is the
four.
Leafs that we know and love.
Yeah.
They trade away highly touted like picks for these
Bottom
for these
six,
bottom six or
maybe
bottom
middle-
four
middle pair,
bottom
middle
four
six.
pairing D man. That's the Leafs.
No.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
That's Kyle Dubas's Leafs baby. He loves
No,
to
that's
see
Brad Treliving.
But you know,
I think Dubas made some good trades that year. They beat Tampa, but they just couldn't get it done.
Yeah,
So
no,
lucky.
that was a good. That was
I
a
think
good
the Leafs will
deadline. I
still
like
be
that
good,
deadline, yeah.
and when it comes to the playoffs, I think they'll still make it, but we'll really have to see it. Only time will tell, right?
Yeah.
But I think we should, move on to another team that's kind of been slowing down recently, the Utah Mammoth.
Mm-hmm.
They got whooped by my Montreal Canadien, but then we got whooped by the Kings, so we can't really say much. But what's going on with the Mammoth right now? What do you think, George? They've had a
Typical.
rough.
They always do this.
They started so
They
well.
always start off.
They-
They always start off
they
pretty
can't
well, and
sustain
then
it. They
November
don't-
they always
yeah.
have like a big losing streak or
The
something.
depth's
Happens
not
every
there.
year. Yeah.
Yep,
And
I agree.
They need to just their
And they
players
don't.
just need to
They have
develop
a
bit more.
star.
Yeah.
They have Cooley,
They have
obviously.
Cooley,
He's
they
their
have
guy.
Cooley
They have
really
Gunter.
good.
They're gonna be
Sergachev
great.
is
They have a
there.
good team.
Yeah.
I hope they can bounce back.
But
They're still
Melka's
in and around there,
Melka's been good, but they don't have the depth.
Yeah.
Schmaltz isn't
You're,
going to
you're
upkeep
asking
that
you're
pace.
asking your younger players to do too much on that team, and I think
I
that's
agree.
why they haven't sustained their start.
I
And
agree. Yeah.
they need some more depth if they actually want to be a contender that can not only just make the playoffs.
But I think
also win a round.
eventually it'll work. For them, maybe they'll probably make the playoffs this year. I think they'll be a wild card team still. I don't think they're going to keep the pace that they have right now. I think they end up to be a wild card team. Maybe them and Anaheim will be in the wild card.
I think Anaheim might make top 3 in the division.
They could.
They're
very well could.
flying.
It depends how Edmonton does. Speaking of Edmonton, my gosh, you watched that game Saturday night?
Disaster.
I thought the last
my
couple of Leaf
gosh.
games were bad.
Dominant.
That was
That
so bad
dominance
to
by the
watch. That
Avalanche.
was so hard to watch.
That was
Yeah.
absolutely.
The
brutal.
Leafs games were hard to watch.
Oh,
too,
they
don't
were
get me
bad.
wrong.
Oh,
As
they
a
were
Habs
hard
fan,
to
They
watch.
were very hard to
Oh,
watch.
trust me, they were
But
hard
that
to watch.
Oilers game, man, that was awful.
Disastrous.
9-1. No, come on, bro.
That's
Get a
typical-
new
that-
goalie.
that's
Just get a new
typical
goalie and write
Stuart
it.
Skinner.
I
bro,
think
Connor
McDavid,
McDavid,
McKee's gone in 2 years. Like
the best
there's no
player,
way.
He's
the
gotta
best
go.
player of our generation, with no question, the best player of our generation.
of this generation.
What? Okay.
This current-
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
This
Is,
generation.
Crosby,
sorry.
Crosby included?
Crosby isn't included in our. I mean, our generation. I guess it would be Crosby, Ovechkin.
Okay,
But this generation,
current, yes,
The 2020
McDavid
is
is the,
McDavid, yeah.
McDavid is the best player
Okay.
that we've seen in a long time, and
2015-16 is not a long time ago.
okay, okay, the most talented player that we've seen in a long time. He put up 153
Sure.
points in a season. You got to put some respect on his name.
I do respect him, but he's not better than
But
Crosby.
they need a new goalie, right? Am I right,
100%.
Christian?
Oh, of course.
They
They,
could
they don't
definitely need a
get
new
Gibson in the offseason. They stick with Skinner, and look what happens.
I wonder-
Come on, man.
I wonder if they
Stuart
want
Skinner.
Stolarz, man.
You cannot let this happen.
Yeah.
Stuart Skinner.
They
this
never
is
they
so
never
hard to
they
watch.
never
It's so
learn.
hard to-
It's kind of
They
like,
get. Oh yeah, Jack Campbell. We're gonna sign. Jack Campbell. Yeah,
it's kind of like the Bills where they know
don't learn.
There's a clear issue. You have like the best player in the league.
It's
and
right there.
You can't get it done because you can't actually build around them, and you never fix the clear issue.
It's right. It's right there in front of them, and they can't. They can't do it. You can literally trade. I don't know. Trade like Isaac Howard or something. You have offense.
Yeah.
You probably have the 2 best offensive players in the league.
Yeah.
Like 2 of the best offensive players in the league.
Two of the top 3, right?
Yeah. And like you can't get it done
Yeah.
on in the goaltending on defense. And Evan Bouchard, oh my god.
Yeah.
And McDavid on Monday night had to
right.
carry them to the win.
Yeah.
They had,
Yeah.
2 goals,
Yeah.
2 beautiful goals by the
League
way.
goals.
And they went in overtime against Columbus. Columbus is a good team by all
They're-
means, but Edmonton has to get their stuff together.
Yeah.
They need a new goalie.
Yeah.
I thought last year, once they lost in the finals, I was like, I said to everyone, I was like, I think they're really going to ramp it up this season. I think they're really going to make some moves because this has to be like, they have to see it now that goaltending is a big issue with them. And they didn't. They just said, nah, screw it. We're just going to keep the same
Yeah,
goaltending.
I
We'll be
don't get
fine.
it. Like,
Yeah.
I cannot believe
you
that they did
sign
this long. It's
McDavid
crazy.
for 2 years. Don't you? in your head, aren't you thinking, oh, this guy's giving us 2 years to actually build a team around him, or he's leaving, and then yet you do nothing. It's just mind-boggling.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
I couldn't agree more. Yeah, they absolutely the thing that they've been calling for years now is to get someone to replace Skinner, because again, it's weird with Skinner because they've been in the finals back-to-back years, but for me he's a performative goalie. He performs in like the big games, but like in some games he'll just be shit.
Or he'll perform
agree.
really big in one finals game, and then you'll let the next 1 or 2 go by. Then you'll have a big performance.
You can't have a goalie like that, man.
He's too good to just kick off, but
that's why
he won't win you the cup.
You need a guy. You need a cup-winning goalie. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care who you get. You need a goalie that can win a Stanley Cup.
Right.
And I want to talk about continuing on the topic of goalies. You know, we're inching closer and closer to probably one of the bigger hockey events of this year, the Olympics. Mm-hmm. And I think we all have our goalie predictions ready. I know I have mine ready. George, you want to kick us off?
I think for me the starter stays the same. I think it's Binnington.
Well, who's your 3?
My 3. Ooh, my 3. I think Thompson absolutely has to be in there.
With his,
I agree.
Because he was robbed last year, and I think there's no way that he does not make it back this year. I think for me, he's got to go in there for sure. It's Binnington for me, 100%.
Binnington's.
And my third one, honestly, I don't know. My third one's weird because like part of me feels like it's too early to pick a third right now, but also part of me feels like again you can I know we talked about how bad Skinner has been recently, but again with those big games, maybe you don't know how he's going to fit rest of the season, right? There's a lot of other names as well around there.
So you're telling me right now in this moment you're putting Stewart?
No, I'm not. No,
okay.
I'm not. No.
So who are you putting as your third goalie?
I don't have a third goalie right now. For me, it's those two.
If you had to pick.
If I had to pick one right now, it's too early. For me. I can't pick it right now. It's too early for me. For me, it's going to be Thompson, Brendan, Owens who are going to play for me anyway.
For me, my 3 is going to sound maybe a bit controversial, but it's just my opinion. I want Thompson in the starting position.
No, for me, yeah.
I want Thompson starting
for sure.
I want Binnington backing him up.
Yeah.
And I want Darcy Kemper as the third string.
Ooh.
I really like him. If not him, Decord. But I like Kemper.
Decord has a both.
He has both.
But I like Kemper. I like the way he's playing so far this year. He played a great game last night against the Habs.
Yeah.
I think he's been good. I think that he's the guy that you want on the team. I think he's been in those big moments. He's won a cup with Colorado. People forget.
I know.
He was the starting goalie on that team.
Yeah.
And I that's my top 3.
I know the third.
I don't see any other way.
I'd agree. I think I'm just going to disagree that I think Binnington should be the starter because he has that experience and he did actually like show up in that big game, the Four Nations.
He was great.
So I'm going to keep him as the starter because he hasn't proven he should lose that spot. But him and Thompson are the 2 for sure.
It's just how can you justify?
And then on the third, I'm gonna have to put Darcy Kemper at the 3 spot.
Yeah.
That would be my 3.
I think it's a fair.
Upcoming in the next couple of weeks, we'll have our defensive pairings next week. Or sorry, not next week. We're not gonna have an episode next week. The week after that, we're gonna have our defensive pairings, and then the week after that, we're gonna have our forward lines ready.
That's exciting.
So that's gonna be a really interesting thing. And you know, I think a guy who's gonna get obviously who's already on the team, but who's gonna get consideration for the MVP this year is Nathan McKinnon.
Oh, 100%.
I think he could definitely win it this year.
I think he's a favorite. He's leading the league by 6 points.
Yeah.
How could you
leading the league in scoring too? And he's, his team is first in the division, and
I think they're first in the league.
They only have one regulation loss too.
That Ducks Avalanche game was big. Whoever won that, I think, would be in the first place.
Yeah,
the Avalanche won that.
I think, man, I'm really impressed with him so far this year. Obviously we know what to expect from him from now, for quite a while. But he's been set super a superstar this season.
Oh yeah.
And speaking of
young
superstars,
a couple of young guys,
Macklin Celebrini and Connor Bedard, they could also make the team possibly.
I think they should with the start, and they're only going to grow from now to mid-season. So I think Celebrini has to be on the team already. At 19 years old, very defensively aware, great playmaker. I don't know. I saw that. I was watching some of that game last night between the Wild and the Sharks. Great pass in overtime, great instincts at his age. Is really impressive.
Who won that game?
The Sharks won in overtime because Celebrini's pass. So that's what I'm referring to. And I think Bedard as well. Bedard has a bunch of talent. I think he's having a great season. He's up there in the top 5. He should be on the team, and they're only gonna grow from now to mid-season. So
Canada's future is in good hands, eh? We know
yeah.
that.
the future is now.
yeah.
The
Not
future,
only
yeah.
in good hands, but maybe the future
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
now.
and they look
Yeah.
unbelievable this season.
Yeah.
And they're single-handedly, or not single-handedly, but it's a team effort. But I'm saying generally their play has
Carried
really
the team.
elevated their teams into like solid positions right now in the standings.
I
right now,
think
where
they're
both in
both.
and
I
around.
think they're both in playoff spots. I think
They're both in and around,
The Hawks
yeah.
are third,
Yeah.
and the Sharks dropped to the wild card because the Kraken did get a point.
Yeah. I
Uh,
believe that's correct. Yeah, they've been really impressive right now, and they could. Who knows what the future holds for them? But they look absolutely.
gonna be
unreal.
the-
This is a
that's
big
gonna be the
breakout
Western
right now.
Conference.
And also
Finals.
shout out to Leo Carlson. The Ducks are back.
Oh, yes.
as
Yeah.
well.
Yes. Yeah.
Those were like
He's
some
been
those 3
unreal
teams
as
in the
well,
Kings
yeah.
were really dominating that
Yeah.
He's been
conference
flying
about
under
10
the
years
radar,
ago.
Leo Carlson.
Carlson, he's got
Unbelievable.
25 points.
Unbelievable.
I agree. So actually, we had to finish off tonight. We have two segments. So we're gonna do a new segment: shoot or pass. So one of us will say a take, and then the other two will agree or disagree.
Yep.
And then we have bet of the night as always.
Yep.
So shoot or pass, George. You want to get us started?
I want to
off?
go. I want to start us off here because again, it's relevant to what we just talked about here about Connor Bedard and Macklin Celebrini. My take here is that I firmly believe that Bedard's going to reach 100 points this season.
Yeah,
I agree.
I think that's a good take.
I think
I
at
think
the
he's gonna
pace
do it.
he's at, now that he actually has some help, not the full help that he needs for this team to be like a true contender, but he has Nazar. Levshunov's been pretty good on that power play unit, producing some offense. So I think, he will hit the 100-point mark. He's a great player. There's really not too much to deliberate about that. But
Again,
Yeah.
right now
And
he's currently on pace to break it,
he's-
but again, we don't know. If
I
it's
think
just
he'll
healthy
break
or
it.
I
everything.
think he's
he
just
will.
going
I
to
think
get
he'll
better.
break
Like I
that
said
100
earlier, him and Celebrini are just going to get better. So I think
agree.
this
Yeah.
is the year he's actually going to break out. He'll have one breakout this year, and then I anticipate they'll get him some new teammates in a few years, and then he'll have that other breakout.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
So moving on to my take, I think that this is kind of a bit of a harder take, but I think the Pistons are going to win the Eastern Conference. I mentioned it earlier. I really like their team. I like their young core. I like how they also have some veteran leadership on the team. I don't see like who like there's so much parity right now in the East.
Yeah, that's
the West
only
is
thing,
the West.
yeah.
You know, OKC is going to be that number
Yeah.
one team, but in the East, there's a lot more parity. I think the
Yeah.
Pistons can win
That's-
it.
that
I
is-
think
that is
they
a
will.
Can win, or they're your pick.
They're my pick right now in this moment.
I
They're
don't
my
know.
pick.
I still think the Knicks or the Cavs are gonna really.
Yeah,
I think so too.
I think those
I
two
think
are
so
gonna
too. I'm on the
once
same
once
page,
we
yeah.
get to around like February, March, those two teams are gonna start
Yeah.
battling for. I
I'm
really
gonna
like.
I'm gonna pass
Brunson.
on
I
the take
really
for
like
now,
the Knicks
yeah.
team,
I'm gonna pass
so-
on the take for
Yeah.
now, but just because like you said, there's a real lack of like there's no OKC
Yeah.
in the
It-
in the
it's
East.
just-
There's
I
no-
understand.
If they
it's
can
really
win,
open.
but
They
wouldn't.
definitely can.
They wouldn't be my first pick or
yeah,
even my
I just,
second.
Of
pick.
course.
I just don't see it happening.
I don't disagree with that.
But I also wouldn't be
I
surprised if
also
it does happen, 'cause
with
they
their
play
start
well.
right now, they've been great.
Oh yeah, they can.
It depends if they can keep that up
Yeah.
and stay consistent with the team. Then they can really like
Yeah.
you
That's a
know
big-
be
big-
good.
big
But
if
we'll have
there.
to see, man. We'll have to see.
Christian, I want to hear
All
your
right, my
your
pick
take here.
is, like I've mentioned earlier, I think Jonathan Taylor should be the front runner for MVP in the NFL. A running back to finally break the quarterback's trend. What do you guys think about that?
Listen, I like that take, but I'm passing on it just because history tells us that almost again, you said break the trend. The trend has been that it's never
Right.
ever happened. So like, or hasn't happened in a long time. So I'm passing just because of the fact that
Let me
doesn't happen.
rephrase.
It hasn't happened.
I'm not either saying that it will happen, but do you think he would be deserving
Oh
to
yeah,
win the
think so.
MVP if
Oh, yeah,
they
he
didn't
definitely
have that
could, yeah.
quarterback bias?
You
He
could
definitely
argue
could,
that
yeah.
that he's been the best. He's the best player on one of the best teams in the league.
Yeah.
That's not an argument. That's
Right.
a fact. So yeah, I could see it happening. I agree. I'm gonna shoot on that. I agree. Even though everyone says quarterbacks. Obviously, that's a good point. But still, I think the voters are, they're logical enough to vote for who they think is deserving, and I think that he
Yeah.
is deserving of it. I agree.
I think if there is to be a year where a non-quarterback is to win, it's the year where the Chiefs are kind of having a down season. The Bills are obviously struggling, and
Ravens.
Lamar Jackson's
Yeah.
been hurt.
Yeah.
So those three and Joe Burrow's been hurt.
Yeah.
The top 4 players in the league,
Pretty
you could
much,
argue,
yeah, the last couple of years,
have all been injuries or bad team play.
Yeah.
So
I
I
agree.
think
And there's-
he's more than deserving.
Yeah.
It's open.
I don't think Daniel Jones is a star.
Oh, yeah.
He's not the one driving that.
If he wins MVP,
if
I'd be
Jonathan
stunned.
Taylor is to get hurt, Daniel Jones can no longer run that offense.
Yeah. Oh,
Without
100%. 100%. No chance at all.
For our final segment, let's move on to bet of the night, Christian.
Important.
We
bet
got
of the night,
Very
yeah,
important,
we
yeah.
got a big game on Friday night, or Friday, not Friday,
Friday
afternoon.
Yeah.
We got the Pens versus the Preds. I think we all know who's going to win that game, right? I mean, like,
Never underestimate the
okay.
Penguins' ability.
Yeah.
To lose
but
a game.
George, you want to start us off with the parlay?
Yeah, so Penguins Preds, the global series in Sweden. They have these games every single year. Obviously, the Leafs were not too long ago, and our Sweden's very own William Nylander was outstanding in those
Here
games.
we go.
For me, it's always been a Swede. Every single time the games go out there, the Swedish players always show up in their hometown, and I'm going to go for Erik Karlsson to get a point
Like
in
that.
front of his home country.
Yeah, I think
for that
that's
game.
I think that's a good take. I mean, he's been pretty good to start off the season. Like he's
Yeah.
obviously an offensive defenseman, and you know the offense has been great. And
Yeah.
and for my pick, I'm gonna go with the guy from the offense. I'm gonna go with the greatest player of our generation,
Right.
Sidney Crosby, anytime goal. I think it's a free pick.
You know he's going to show up.
He's
for
got
the-
he's
for the
got
European
11 he's
crowd.
got 11 goals in what 18 17
Especially
games.
if they can get on that power play, I can
Yeah.
really see that happening.
Man, they've been so good. Like Ben Kindle is such a like site such a good site for Penguins fans, especially like Malkin's been great. I think they can feed Crosby the puck really well, and I think that he can get an anytime goal against a team that often struggles against that is the Predators. So
Yeah.
Christian,
Yeah, so my
Final
pick, just
take.
building off of that, my pick will be the Penguins to get over 2.5 goals. The reason why, it's pretty obvious. The Predators have been statistically a bottom 3 team defensively. Saros has had a bit of a struggle. That defense, they haven't really stepped up defensively. And I think the Penguins are probably just the better team. So they shouldn't have a problem hitting the over 2.5 in the game on Friday.
Yep. I think that's a good take. Again, adding on to the Penguins offense. It's a Penguins bet of the night, Christian's favorite, but
Yeah.
I think they can hit all those parlays.
They
I
probably
think it's
They're all,
realistic.
they're all
I think it should
consistent.
be.
And
with
what
each
do you
other.
think that is? We don't have the odds for it yet because we're filming this on
I mean,
Wednesday,
Crosby
but-
alone is probably plus 110. Adding
Something around
adding the
that, yeah.
Carlson, maybe almost 2-1 around, more or less 2-1.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That sounds about right, yeah.
Yeah.
If maybe
Well, yeah,
get,
we'll see
maybe
what
it'll
happens,
give
yeah.
you a profit booster.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens
agree.
with that game. But yeah, that's going to conclude our episode for today. Thank you all for watching.
Yep.
Again, you know the drill. We'll be back here before you know it. Again, we're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and of course, check out our Instagrams, TikToks for more content just like this. Yeah, you know the drill. I'm George. That's Joseph. That's Christian. We're the Spread Podcast, and we're out of here.